Yeah, no, I understand. So, putting our best foot forward, you know, um, how do you find in your own experience or what you've seen, just, pitfalls that could be there for blacks wanting to get into business or entrepreneurship? Do you find there being strong support systems, or, a lack of support maybe to begin with, or, you know, what's your experience on that side of things, being black in business?
Um, I think it all depends. So I think it's different if you have somebody in your family who already started a business, right? If you're not a first time entrepreneur, it's a little different because people already have the knowledge of entrepreneurship and they kind of more welcoming. But I think once you are a first time entrepreneur, especially when the people around you are caught up in like jobs and stuff like that, I think it is a little bit harder because um for our people, we tend to think. Now, I'm gonna not gonna say all of them, but for a majority of our people, we tend to think that business is far fetched, right? So we tend to think entrepreneurship is too much. It's something that we can't do. It takes too much energy, too much time, whatever, whatever. But I think that once we actually, what I'm learning is people don't really listen to words, right? They listen to action, or they only see action, right? So um, I think it is a little harder when you coming from a family who don't really mess with entrepreneurship. But once your brand starts to really taking off, that's when people will actually jump on and start supporting you and actually understand, what you was doing the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, we hear about where people say in the black community there's a lot of crabs in the bucket mentality, where oftentimes when one is trying to succeed or develop into entrepreneurship or certain business endeavors, they're often, it's your own people trying to cut your throat or pull you back. Um, do you think a lot of that mentality is still prevalent, or do you think it started to change within society?
Um, that's a good question. Honestly,
I mean, I
I
only
think it's
say because we, look at even recently we've seen, rest in peace, Pop Smoke. We've seen even artist guys like, coming up doing their thing. Nipsey Hussle. We don't know the ins and outs, but oftentimes people say, "Damn, it's your own people then that's still out of what,
right.
end up going to take, whether it's out of jealousy or whether it's and don't, I'm being, other people say that this exists as well within other nations and other groups and stuff as well, maybe not as highlighted, but maybe not to the level of pettiness where one doesn't want to see another succeed. We feel sometimes there's an overall mentality with blacks where some say it's the same with Africans as well. The Africans, whether it's one nation to another nation, and they there's the competitive aspect of, or is that just a human predisposition? But others seem to be able to let bygones be bygones enough to come together to work together. Whereas I
Right.
think with a lot of black businesses and stuff like that, and black individuals starting out in entrepreneurship, it's not to say it's impossible, but I think it's definitely, it can be tougher if they don't have that initial support system, like you said.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And then I think a lot of times when it comes to black businesses and stuff like that, I think just because we never really was forced to support one another, just because we never really understood how to fully support each other, that's something that has pulled us back when it comes to the community. But I do think that it is starting. There is a shift, in what's going on. And that's not to say that it's not people like the crab in a barrel mentality is not here, because it is. But I just don't think that I just think that it's a lot of our people that's waking up. A lot of our people waking up to unity and waking up to understanding that we are more powerful as a team and stuff like that. So I think that while the crab and the barrel mentality is still there, I don't think that once we really start to come together, I don't think that that will actually, even be talked about as much as it is, just because once you have somebody who is, willing to help you and willing to,
It
two people who are willing to exchange ideas and
of
all that other type of stuff, it
it can
kind of elevates you.
it can self eradicate itself, because yeah, some, I mean, some do say a lot of this stuff had been further induced by, greed or others wanting to be above others and stuff like that. I think Marcus Garvey had a great example, which a lot of the Chinese, I do believe, went on to utilize. But, a lot of his models were based off cooperation. And even if you've got, business or something in the community doing well, you would afford people the opportunities to invest in stuff. They may not play an active role, but they will see something back from it. But things like that will alleviate tension and jealousy and stuff like that. But these were principles Marcus Garvey was trying to implement. But definitely one of powerful, forefather figures.